space, the universe. Hi, I'm Ed Rosas. Our body's personal energy frequency is directly related to the frequency of our immediate surroundings. As a result, when we alter our personal energy frequency, we automatically move to the non-physical energy levels of the universe that corresponds to our internal frequency. Once we gain some degree of self-control over our non-physical exploration, we will begin to experiment with consciously alternating our personal frequency rate. This can be achieved by simply requesting an energy change. Frequency plays a major role in the creation of life because it contains the living codes of matter. As energy contracts and expands, it creates energy patterns that blinks on and off. These patterns work similar to the binary codes of computers, which are codes that consist of ones and zeros. Unlike binary codes, the energy patterns of frequency can be in an on or off state simultaneously. This simultaneous state is possible because at the quantum level, time is not linear, but is simultaneous. The energy patterns in frequency allow energy to have expressions, and therefore energy can project itself into any form, including but not limited to particles, atoms, biological life, planets, stars, galaxies, and universes. However, these forms are not made of solid material, since they are actually energy patterns. They only seem solid to us because our consciousness processes the energy patterns as solid objects. Everything in the universe has its own unique frequency signatures. These frequency signatures allow your consciousness to differentiate an object from another object. In this study, audio frequency produces different shapes depending on the frequency. You can see as the frequency goes up, the pattern gets more complex. Using this as an analogy and knowing that in the non-molecular existence everything is controlled and generated by thoughts, we can state that by using a collective thought, everything can be created, including physical universes as ours. Here goes the theory of the Big Bang out the window.
This more elaborate...
Back in 1950, Dr. Hans Jelly experimented with sound waves to demonstrate how vibration forms different objects. In my opinion, this is a good example how the universe was formed.
moves to the center of the fields and takes up circular shapes. The sand forms the lines. Each material has its own special way of behaving. Lycopodium alone, a sonorous figure. transition to a mobile flowing phase, and back again to the figure. The sonorous figures represent stationary waves, but now we can also observe moving waves. Here the sand is flowing in a current. When the wavelengths are short, these currents produce a rotary effect. Areas become defined in which the particles are actually rotating. Now we produce two notes with frequencies which are so related as to cause a beat. The note seems to throb, and by using the method we have chosen, this phenomenon of beat or interference can be rendered visible. The figure sways to and fro, the figure pulsates. The picture has changed completely. Now we are exciting fluids. Under vibration, a layer of turpentine forms a regular lattice work. In vibrating glycerin, we see continuous waves which form the queerest figures. And yet, the extraordinary things we see here are simply and solely the effect of vibration. Here is a sonorous figure shown in a fluid. There are some wave fields where there was nothing before. Where there was previously sand, now there is nothing to be seen. The dynamic phase has become the static phase. Wave fields which make the vibratory process in the plate indirectly visible. Here again, interference can be demonstrated. All these wave fields pulsate. Interference becomes visible. colored black, is dripped into a transparent fluid. Vibration now gives rise to curious eddy formations. It is always a pair of eddies that is created. One pair after another is generated so that we finish up with a whole series of such pairs of eddies in a symmetrical arrangement. Formation of these eddies by vibration is particularly significant because it is eddies of this kind which are specifically formed in the cochlea of our ears whenever we hear sounds. That is to say, they are not ordinary eddies as defined in rheology, but vibratory eddies, with the members of each pair turning in opposite directions. Plastic substance. A plasticizable substance is always shaped into a ball by the wave trains of the vibrating membrane. The masses are jiggled round, but gradually proper spherical shapes are formed, created by nothing more than the vibratory process. The human voice can also be made visible with a simple apparatus. The various vowels show typical characteristics depending on the nature of their sound. We can see the spectrum, as it were, of the sounds. A sequence of sung notes comes out as a sequence of vibratory patterns. We can see a melody. Music can also be made visible. The same membrane that emits the music can also make its vibratory processes visible through the medium of a fluid. Here we have the last 89 bars of the first movement of Mozart's Jupiter Symphony. We can see Mozart while we hear him. Lycopodium powder, the spores of the club moss, reveals a number of quite remarkable phenomena when made to vibrate. Circular shapes appear, but these are in a state of continuous upheaval. The particles are pushed outwards from the center and inwards again from the outside, and at the same time they pulsate. We can recognize the various patterns of the vibratory fields. They move to and fro, unite, and separate again according to the vibratory state of the surface formed by the membrane. And we can, as it were, move over a landscape which is in a state of vibration. If we intensify the note, if we produce a crescendo for the ear, the masses are hurled outwards. We see fountains, eruptions, explosions almost. But invariably, the particles return to the center, so that here again, even under these violently dynamic conditions, we find there is circulation.
All physical reality is made up of vibrations of energy. Your thoughts too are vibrations of energy. This is not a concept or a theory, but rather the startling new reality that quantum physics now reveals to us. Your thoughts have a powerful influence. They affect what happens to you. I'm Ed Rosas, wishing you a fantastic OBE.